Oh, hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for visiting once again. And back we are to the Focke Wulf Fw190 A8 again. It's that aeroplane that cheekily got named after the road between Glasgow and Edinburgh. But there we go. On we go. So where I left it the last time with you was that we'd made up some seat belts and various things. Well, I've actually put those in now, so if we can show you those, maybe there's some light. You can see the lap belts in there, and the shoulder belts need to go in, of course, and I've got those here. That's one of them there, and the other one is sat over there. I'm going to wait until a bit later on to fit them in, and I'm going to fit them in on, I think you can see the holes actually for these fairly clearly. If I zero right in, you can see them just there and there, so they'll fit over there, and one of the belts I might drape over the side, and the other one I'll just arrange somewhat untidily, shall we say, but that's what it's going to look like in there. But this isn't stuck together yet. Excuse me. And what I'm going to do is to actually complete the sticking together, because I can then show you what exactly I've done here. So let's just have this apart. Let's zero back out again. 0.6 I think is our default magnification here, so it's not quite 1:1, it's slightly less with slightly more wide angle, just for those of you that are interested. Hopefully you are. By the way, whilst I speak about this, I understand that the most excellent Terry from Hobby Barn has had to go into hospital again for some scans, and he left a video on his channel, and I'll leave a link in the channel in my comments for his channel, so that you can go visit him. Do please go visit Terry over at Hobby Barn. He's a fabulous guy, terrific bloke, and he graces every single live he goes to, and you never encounter someone like him who's quietly grateful for all that goes on in his life, and despite his numerous difficulties, he retains a sunny outlook on life, and he's a real pleasure to be around, to be honest with you, when he's on lives. So go and look him up, and send him an encouraging word or two, because I know he will be absolutely delighted about that. So anyway, so that's Hobby Barn, HOBBYBARN, and the guy's name is Terry. He's a fabulous bloke. And let's have this apart, and oh dear, I glued that a bit. That's why it didn't come apart. So as you can see, what we've done here is I've used some Tamiya extra thick to actually glue in along here and in there, and obviously on that little panel there, on this little whatnot. But I put the two units together so that the cockpit assembly itself would sit properly into its socket. And I think after having done some test fitting, this is probably going to be the easiest way to get the whole, cursed thing together, because otherwise what happens is you get halfway there and this side section doesn't go in properly, so you're in with a bit of a problem there. Then these sections don't drop in, and then this drops out, and then it's all it's all a bit of a bugger's muddle. So the other thing we need to do is we need to put this in. So what we'll do is we'll secure that in with some extra thin quick drying, because that will make it easier, really. And as you remember, the rear undercarriage here was designed by Kurt Tank to ride up and in like that, and then out like that. And there was a little actuator lever that was tied to the front undercarriage as well. So that's the way it goes in. Now you'll be able to tell the way it goes in very easily from the instructions, but also you'll be able to see from the fact that, as you can see, the front half of this is curved and the back half is, or the front half actually is square and the back half is curved, and that matches precisely to that area there, like that. So what we'll do is we'll start to look at just having this together. So let's zip out, there we go, so that we can see what we're doing. This is a fairly lumpy piece of kit, it's a 132 scale model. So what we can do is just locate that peg in there, So as you can see, it's somewhat easier to achieve that way. And then what we can do, I'll do the wheel in a minute. So I'm going to glue the front half up to here with extra thin on the outside, because that will bond in reasonably quickly. Let's try and put that in the joint, shall we? And I'll tack that end, the other side, up with some extra thick, so the white cap cement. Just hold that up there for a second. Just hold that shut there. Very careful with these things. So what I can then do is I'm going to tape that up with some reasonably thick. You can see what happens with this. The cover drops off. It's the only one that does that. It's a bit annoying when it does mine. So what we'll do is we'll just tape that, bit of stretch on the tape there, and that will just hold that shut there. That then enables us to start looking at these sections here. Be more careful with the glue than I'm being, otherwise I'll end up throwing it all over the place, which is not really what we want, I wouldn't have thought. So I'll hold that shut there, and then just shut that up, put that over there. Then we need, okay, that's, my fingers are just strong enough to be able to do that. So what we'll do is we'll use the extra thick with on the inside of this joint here, and that will just wick through. I think the joints get stronger if you use this particular glue. I think it's quite good from that point of view, so we can do that like that. So what I'll then do is just put that away over there. I'm not going to shut that yet, but take that up there like that. I just flew off that because I was applying too much pressure. There we go. So we're now right. So what I want to do then is to actually get the brush up inside here, just where I'm pointing there, and daub a little bit of cement on there, so that not so much that it comes out of this side here to any meaningful degree, but enough so that we can bond them in. And hopefully this is not quite long enough, so we may have to get ourselves a brush here. Well, let's have a go with it anyway. Now, we've got some of it in there, but I think we may need to find a brush. So let's fetch a brush out from here. We need really do you know what? I haven't got any gash old brushes. I may use that actually. It's not a gash old brush really, but it's quite long. It will enable me to get glue into the area where I want it. Which is up the back here, as it were. There we go. No, I don't need to do that. See, here's the habit, which I didn't want to get into. Just put that away over there, out the way, and then shut that up. I need to keep that. Yeah, right. That was slightly awkward for a minute, wasn't it, everybody? So what I'll just do is go off camera a minute, get myself another piece of tape, and then just rest a bit of tape over there just to keep some slight tension on that. This section I'm going to glue up later because I don't think I want to do that just yet. Okay, so what we can now do is the main seams towards the back. Let's move these sections away. And draw the glue down there in a bead. So it's dry to the touch now, so do is a little bit of tape, not much, just a little short piece. That's all we need. It's just keep that shut there. So I'm going to get some thinner strips of tape now. Just set up a few because I might need some. Oh, there we are. That's run out. I need another one of those. I have a refill, I think, in here somewhere. Ah, no, I've got a new one. It's not the best way of going, but it is a way of going. So, need to just get the lid off. Well, I'll take the lid off that later if I need to. I can use other tape if it comes down to it, can't I? So what we'll then do, right, okay, what we'll then do, I'll do the top seam as well. I'm going to have to do some work on this seam here, as you can probably see. It probably comes out. I'll show you what's happened. I've been a bit over keen with the filing without these two sections being together, so there's a bit of an incline there, you know, and there's a gap. So I need to deal with that. So my fault, not the model. My fault, not the model. There we go. So that's a way to do this. Okay, so that's that bit done. Just hold that there for a second or two, and all should be well. We can use a little bit of that tape there. It's dry to the touch. That's how quick it takes. It's quite warm in here this evening because we've had the central heating on, obviously, so that means that the glue dries fairly quickly. Now, this section here is going to need some work in terms of, let's see if we can get focused in. There we go. Look, this section here is going to need some work because there's a gap here. But to its credit, there's not really too much the matter with this leading edge here, or that trailing edge there, and the I think when addressed with a panel liner, this back and these panels here will look quite nice. And obviously, as you will remember, that's the panel that allows you access to the rudder controls, as if you're servicing and so on. And there's even little you know, screw marks there, and they're not called screws, are they? They're called something else. The name escapes me for the present. So we'll run up a bead of glue up here, try and get this thoroughly involuted with adhesive if we can. Oh, no, I'll just knock that into the let's just go out to 0.6. There we go. That's 0.7. There you go, 0.6. And just run a bead of glue in there. Bonded there. It looks like it has, so that's okay. Run a bead up there, just hold that shut for a minute. As you can hear, my voice is getting a little better. Make sure I haven't got my fingers in the way there. As I say, it's certainly better than it was a few days ago, and it wasn't at all good a few days ago. Hopefully before long I shall be, shall we say, fighting fit again. Okay, we need to hold that shut by the look of things. Nice little touch here. There's a little gap there that you can see for the rudder, so there's clearance there, which I think is it's a nice way of doing things. That's nicely done. So I think I'll just drop a bead of glue in there. Right. The back here is not bonded, and I know this because I was looking up through there and I could see light, and I can see light again, so I need to go at that again. In fact, actually you can pretty much make that out now. Have I got a peg to hand? I don't particularly excuse me, I don't particularly like using pegs. It's not my favourite way of operating, to be honest with you. I don't particularly care for it, but I'm just going to pull the magnifier underneath this. Yeah, that's now shut. Okay, so let's just bring that out the way. I'm just going to look up in through that. Yep, that's now shut. I can't see any light again through there, which is good. So we'll have the extra thin away. Get the extra thick out, because I'm going to run a bead just down the front here, just to finish that off, because that's not going to be seen, because that'll be covered by the bottom of the fuselage, sorry, the bottom of the wing section. That was a little careless there, but we're on the way. So it's then simply a question of letting that all dry off and then attending to the requisite seams. Now there will be excuse me, one or two challenges for us coming up. Yeah, okay, what we'll do is we'll put that in first. In fact, I won't put that in yet. I want to just show you some things. No, I can't do that, can I? That's good planning, isn't it? I think that's just brought this this video effectively to the end. So what we'll do is we'll drop this section in here, and that'll be us done. So so this will only be a short video this time, and next time I'll do some work with you on the wing sections, and I'll show you all of that, because I think there may be some challenges for us there. So here we go with this. This is all pretty straightforward stuff, as you can probably see, and once that's in, it's nice and straight. That's slightly facing back like it ought to be, and what I'll then do is I'm just going to put that off camera a minute, put my glue away, and I'm going to, there's some blue tack here, I'll just put that there like that, and hold that up there so that it doesn't go any place, and just let that dry in that fashion, and we can leave that overnight, and I shall then see you on the next one, which hopefully won't be too far away, and by that time I will have sorted out my new tape dispenser, and it'll all be working fine and hopefully not falling to pieces. So thanks very much for coming along again. This was pretty uneventful really, no swears involved, which is always good. And the next time you'll see, I think, 1 or 2 slight little challenges with the lower wing sections and the mating together of those sections, and oh dear, oh bother, FFS. Let's see what's happened here. I've got a small disaster here. I'll just zero in on this so that you can see it. You can see what's happened there is this section here has got caught underneath my drawer, so I'm going to have to be careful about removing that, otherwise I would end up breaking it. So anyway, there we go. We'll just come back to that and say thank you very much. As I say, one of the next challenges will be fitting this section in, amongst other things, and we'll do that all together at that stage. So thanks for visiting once again. Take care until the next time. See you now. Bye bye.